Now, today we're talking all about reels. Why? Because I had a reel go viral 2 weeks ago, because I've got a reel workshop coming up, something we've not done for a while, but we're bringing back and we're doing more of. And also because they're massive, they are huge at the moment. That's how, if you're on social media and want to be on social media, you can grab some attention from your potential clients. So, why reels? Why do a reel? Why do a reel? Or what is a reel? So a reel is a video on Instagram. I say reels, I am also talking about videos. So it might be a TikTok video, it might be a YouTube video. However, the demographics on each platform are different. So I'm kind of focusing mainly on Instagram reels, but they can be reused on others. So bear with, because we'll go through that as well. We're going to talk about what reels you should and shouldn't do. And I am literally talking to you of what you should and shouldn't do. We'll talk about trends. We'll talk about dancing. I've got an example of someone who's absolutely amazing and she's got more views on reels than I have. So I taught her well. And also why you shouldn't use going viral as a benchmark, and why you should be talking to your audience and how you should do that. So let's get into it. Let's talk all about Instagram Reels. Hi, and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle, or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe, and we hope you enjoy listening to this episode. Hi, and welcome to Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. So why should you be doing reels? The main reason is if it's relevant to your business. So you might not be okay at doing videos or reels because it might not suit your business and you might not be comfortable with it. And that's absolutely fine. However, as with all social media, you're absolutely missing a trick if you're not using it. If you don't have to and you're getting work in, absolute marketing gold. Brilliant. But social media, if you're doing it yourself, is free. Yes, it's taking your time up, but it is free to do. You don't have to pay for an Instagram account, and you can post stuff up as and when you need to. Same with all the other social media platforms. All of them are free, unless obviously you do paid for promotions or boost posts or everything else, but we're not talking about that today. So why reels? Reels get a lot more reach, and we've moved into a massive video age of people scrolling through, people looking at video, people engaging, people commenting, people sharing, more than static posts. Static posts and carousels, which is when you've got several pictures, when you have to swipe right to look at several pictures on my post, they've still got a place, and carousels actually do really well. Same with stories, but reels are a good way to very, very quickly get more views and more attention to your account. So why do it? Why? Because it's popular and because it works. So what do you need to do? Like, what reels, what would work for you? So from your individual account, whether it's your personal account, your business account, what should you be posting videos of? Well, there's several things. So you could have some B-roll, and B-roll is if I was taking a video right now of me talking to you like this. So I'm not talking to the camera, I'm talking to these cameras, hello, but I'm not talking to the camera. So it might be set up at the side on time lapse, it might be set up on slow-mo, although that'd be quite boring because I'm not hardly moving. But B-roll is the background videos of your life, of what you're doing every day. It might be a picture of you walking to work. It might be a picture of you drinking coffee. It might be you tapping on a laptop, or whatever you do. If you make something, if you do gardening, if you do printing, whatever it is that you do, whatever your craft is, you might paint. The B-roll is a video of you just doing it and not engaging with the camera. That is absolutely fine if that works for you. And for some people, they're not comfortable talking to the camera, and we'll talk about that next. But if you're not comfortable with that and that's not what suits you in your business, that is absolutely fine. You could have different camera angles. Like I say, we could have this from the side. We could have a video from above. Either way, it works, and it's just background video. Again, it's video. It's people to engage in what you do. So the first step is to take video of absolutely everything you do. No exceptions. Well, maybe a few exceptions. We don't need the toilet breaks in, but whether you're sat tapping on a laptop, whether you're talking to someone, whatever it is, you can have a camera rolling because people are interested. They want to know what's going to happen. And it might have a little hook in it. It might be drinking a coffee. Well, are you cheersing a coffee? Are you drinking the coffee? What are you doing? And people are interested in that. Think yourself to the accounts you like, the accounts you enjoy, the accounts you engage with. What's their B-roll? And you'll start to notice it now. You'll start to have a look at what they're doing and what you like and what suits you. Because the biggest thing about your business, your social media and your reels is you have to be absolutely comfortable in what you're doing. So B-roll is a fantastic place to start because there's no pressure. It's not like, oh, what am I going to say on a video? It's not looking at the camera. It's just getting on with what you're doing and having that camera there, but also getting used to having a camera there as well. Because the minute you put a camera like this in someone's face, it changes. You can stumble on your words. You can have brain fog. I don't know what I was going to say. You start erring, umming, pausing. It's automatically getting you used to the camera being there. Because whilst we take pictures and photos of it feels like we're the most watched society ever, it was never like that. So it's not human nature to have a camera everywhere we go and what we do. So try some B-roll. Let us know what you do. Tag us in it. Let us show what you find with your own video and have a play around with it. And it doesn't matter if you record something, take a chunk and edit it out. Doesn't matter if you delete it and start again. There's nothing wrong. There's no wrong answers. But once you've got that video and once you're going to post it into the reel, that's when you can start putting text over it. So to get your point across, depending on what you're doing and depending on what you're videoing, it might be that you've videoed yourself tapping on a laptop and the text might be something as simple as, this is what designing a new logo looks like. This is what writing an email looks like. You can literally put anything on it, but it needs to be related to what you do. And this is the biggest thing for social media. Everything you do, as long as you've got the consistency of posting, and I'm not saying you have to post a reel every day at 10:15 a.m. That's not right. The consistency is putting out a reel every once a week, once a month, whatever it might be, but just do it regularly so the algorithm can figure out what and when you're posting. If you're posting here, there and everywhere, again, it's fine because it's consistent, but is getting something out there. Don't post and ghost. Don't post and then 2 months later, oh, I haven't done anything for my account. That's when you won't reach as many people because Instagram or TikTok or whoever it is doesn't really understand or know or where to push your content, because naturally your content will be pushed, but also you need to make it engaging. It might be that it's a B-roll of you tapping on a laptop, and it might be, what questions have you got for me as a boop, whatever you do. So for me, it might be me tapping on the laptop. What questions have you got for me whilst I'm posting some social media? And that's when you get the engagement, you get the questions. Because if you get the questions, one of my questions is, how do I make reels? What do I do with reels? Brilliant. I need to do a video on that. I need to do a podcast on that. And that gives you the answers to what content people want, what your potential clients want from you. A, getting content out there, and B, it's starting to ask the questions for the replies to be future content ideas. So it's that circle of content. So straight away, you've got those content ideas of what people want from you and what they want to hear and see. So once you've got your B-roll underneath, it might be that you then spend a bit more time scrolling through, looking what other people do, and do look at your competitors. What are they doing? What works well for you? Don't directly copy them. You can't, because you're not them, they're not you. But get an idea and feel for what works and what doesn't work. So for me, if anyone's looked at the Breakout Long Melford social media account, I will do miming reels to music. I'll try and make them a bit funny. And it's not always me. I will do reels like this where I'm talking direct to camera, but it's not often I do those. So it's those kind of things of the miming and the trends that I'll pick up. But it's really, really important. I will do the trends that make a difference, the trends that actually relevant to what I do, if as long as I can make them relevant to what we do. So for example, let's talk about trends. Dancing. There's a APT dance at the moment, or APATA dance, as you'll recognize the music. There's no point us doing that. It's not relevant. It's not, I can't dance. I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not going to enjoy doing it. Well, I might enjoy doing it. Might get all of us in the team doing it, but I can't make that, and I don't know how to make that relevant to what we're doing. Or we could do it and talk about why you wouldn't dance, or show how you wouldn't dance to do a viral trend. So I could do it, but I'm not comfortable with it. And that's your gut feeling of what you, especially on social media, or what you should and shouldn't put. It has to be what you're comfortable with. Because if you do that really well, and that post does really, really well, what's that telling you? It's telling you that you need to do more of that one thing, that one trend that worked. And if it's not you, it might not sit right, but it might be a one-off. This is where the results and the insights are really, really difficult to pick apart. So personally, I wouldn't do that. However, if you like dancing, or it works, or you've got a team that are really up for it and you can make it relevant to your account, absolutely 100% go with it. I've worked with Ruth Salisbury Higgs, whose company is Ceremonies by Ruth. She's a celebrant. A couple of years ago, she came to us and we did a Reels workshop. It was absolutely brilliant. But before she booked on, and before she did the workshop, one of her questions was, I couldn't do what you do. I wouldn't be comfortable with it. And I was like, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to be comfortable with it. But also, she's a celebrant. So what's the one thing a celebrant does is they stand up and they talk to everybody. So they're stood at someone's most important day of their lives, talking to the couple, talking to the guests. So it's really, really important that Ruth gets her personality across, that she gets her chat across, that you really know exactly what Ruth's like before you've even found her account. You know how she's going to come across. So it's really, really important to be engaged by Ruth, and she wants people to come to her who really, really want her at their wedding. Absolutely amazing. So straight away I was like, yeah, you don't want to mime and do things like I do. Because if you're miming, what's wrong with your voice? You're a celebrant. You use your voice. What's that? So people might not directly say it, but it's that subconscious thought process of, why is she not talking? So if you go and have a look at Ceremonies by Ruth, she will talk to the camera. She will talk about the wedding she's just done, the day she's had, what happened at the ceremony. It is absolutely amazing. And what's happened? She's done really, really well. If you look at her numbers, you look at her reach, it's brilliant, because it's Ruth being Ruth, and it's what works for her. And I'd highly recommend you follow her, and I'd highly recommend that you have a look, because she'll also explain, so you'll get to know what a celebrant is. I didn't know before I met her. I didn't understand it. And 100% I'd have a celebrant at my wedding. So big plug for Ruth, not an ad, just that it's another way of successfully doing reels, but doing reels your way and what suits you. Because, as I say, the trends and the mimes wouldn't necessarily work. So that's what works for her and has worked really successfully. Once you're comfortable with how you're going to do yours, so it might be talking to the camera like this, it might be some B-roll, it might be dancing, it might be a get ready with me. I can't do a get ready with me, it's literally putting a hoodie on. So what would work for you? What are the trends? Do your research, and what works and what doesn't. And then it comes down to editing and posting. So this is where it's really, really important to not overthink it. Don't overthink what you're doing, just record it. and get it out there. That's the most important thing. So for me, for my reels, I will batch record normally between 15 and 20 reels all at once. So I'll go through, do a bit of research, save any trending audio that I know will work, and then put together. So I probably spend about an hour on each of them, well, not on each of them, collectively. So they're ready to go out. So then I've got the consistency of keep posting reels. So I'm not post, quiet, silence for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it might be. I've got consistent reels ready to go out, because I tell you now, you will not feel like posting and creating reels every minute of your working day. You will not be in the mood for it. You won't have your productive head on. So you need to do it when you've got your productive head on. So that bit of research is crucial, because you'll have that list of ideas, of whether you have a list of ideas in your notes, in your phone, or whether you just save them for future to go back on. If you're doing trends, so if you're doing trends in audio, you kind of want to get on that as soon as possible so it goes out, because it will help your reach and it will go up. It's exactly what I had 2 weeks ago. I hopped on a trend, I got a trend in audio, and straight away that has hit, it hit about 10,000 straight away, but now 3 weeks down the line, it's still climbing, but it's about 45k it's reached, which now my reach over a 30-day period is about 80,000 people. And that's what's important to understand, is what works and what doesn't, because you won't have a reel go viral every single time, and you don't want to have a reel go viral every time. We'll come back to that. So the editing part of it. So you've batch recorded some, or it might be that you've just got all your B-roll, and then you can edit in either CapCut, or you can edit in Instagram itself. For the reels I'm posting in Instagram, I edit in Instagram. And if anyone's edited in TikTok before or CapCut, it's very, very similar. So you get the layers, and you can add your text, and you can add your stickers, and there's a lot you can do. So that's where it's really important to edit in the app, because once you've edited in the app, it will save for you as well to your camera roll. So you've got that, so you can lift and shift across to other accounts and other social media platforms. But also, it's all there, it's all in Instagram, and you've used the tools. You don't get the watermark. You don't want to put the Instagram watermark over onto TikTok or YouTube, and vice versa. So just have a play around with that. But everyone's got different ways of editing. Some people prefer CapCut, absolutely fine, but you've just got to watch the audio side of things. So when you're using a trending audio on Instagram, it's easier to save and use that audio in there and reshare, rather than doing it vice versa. But that is annoying when you want to lift and shift, which is what we do. So we will take our reels off of Instagram and post them onto TikTok, and then post them onto YouTube Shorts. Fine, until you can't find the audio, because it might be labeled differently. It's just those one thing to watch out for. However, hence why we're just mainly concentrating on Instagram Reels. So going viral. Do you want to go viral? I've said this so many times. My argument is no. It's quite exciting, and you see the numbers go up, and you keep logging, and you're like, oh, it's gone up 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Sounds really, really good. I probably got a handful of followers from it. If you look at other social media marketing managers or experts, sometimes the aim is to go viral. And to be honest with you, if I am Netflix bringing out a brand new program, I 100% want to go viral. They're a massive brand that costs them millions. So yes, they do. And it's a bit different going viral on a TV program than going viral talking about, well, I was talking about ChatGPT and taking the mick out of you people that use ChatGPT too much, or not using it right. So it's a very, very different audience. So do you want to go viral? Well, yes and no. Yes, you might do to get your reach up, get more followers, get some traction on your account. However, I've known a few people to go viral, and the first thing they get straight away is negativity. That's when the trolls find you. You puts you on everyone's radar, which is great when it's your ideal client. Really, really not great when it's the trolls. It's the people that want to pick you apart. They want to be negative, and they don't have anything positive to say. They're the people that you don't want to get in front of, because you're not their person. So you need to consider that, and you need to be ready for it as well, because it is some people send some not nice things, and because you're out there, because it's public, touch wood, I haven't had anything horrendous yet, but still, it's not nice when people say not nice things about you. So just be ready for that, because one way to go viral is similar to what I did. It's being controversial, or to pulling out something that's slightly negative. So I'm already being negative. So do I deserve negativity? No, it depends. It's nice to have a debate with people, but if it's directly saying something really awful to someone, no one deserves that. We need to keep it positive as much as possible. So just be ready for that and consider it. The other thing is, if you go viral, you get loads more followers. Amazing. That's what we want, surely. We want lots of followers. We want people to see our account. That's brilliant. But it depends if they're following you for that one reel. And then your next reel's a bit different, or it doesn't do as well. If your followers aren't engaging with your own content, then your non-followers won't see it. The algorithm is kind of thinks, well, if your followers don't like it, why would non-followers not like it? Now, that's a bit of a bold statement, and there's a lot more under that of when you're trying to change the account and what you're doing, and there's a lot more to the algorithm than that. But ultimately, you don't want to push something out and you've got 10,000 followers, which is brilliant, but everyone just scrolls past you and they're just not engaged and they're not interested. And that comes the same with buying followers. You don't want to buy followers, and you don't, because they'll end up with bots and you will always attract. So you might notice that your followers sometimes go up a few and down a few, and they gradually change. Sometimes that is just random bot accounts that fall off or get closed down or whatever it might be. So it's another reason to not go viral. But it does make your stats look good. Some people go viral because they can say, I can teach you to go viral, and then it's a loop of, again, they can sell you a course on how to go viral and what to do. Again, that's absolutely fine. And if you really wanted to, yes, of course, we could jump on some trends and we can make you go viral. But going back to what I said before, if it is not relevant to your business, then you don't want to do it, because you will go viral for all the wrong reasons and attract the wrong people as well, which is really, really important, because all of this is no good if no one's buying from you, if you're not getting people approach you, if you're not making any money from it. It might be that you're an influencer and you want some free stuff, and that's fine. Again, build your account so you can showcase it that way. However, there is no point doing it if you're just going to be uncomfortable and not enjoy it, and ultimately not make money from it. So it's that niching down and knowing what your business or what your account is all about. B, sticking to that and being consistent with it. And C, being true to you. So it's like when I said before about doing your market research, looking at what your competitors do, absolutely fine. But you'll know for yourself if that sits with you, right with you, or it doesn't. I see other accounts of what they do and they look absolutely amazing. It's like the Get Ready With Me's. Absolutely amazing. Everyone likes them. They get loads of engagement. They get loads of watches. It's just not something I could do. And as I said before, me putting a hoodie on is going to be a 2-second reel that no one's going to want to watch. So know your audience, but also know what sits right with you. And don't let anyone tell you, oh, you should be doing this kind of reels. If you're putting it off and procrastinating over it, I can tell you now, you do not want to do it. And although practice makes perfect, yes, I've been doing this for a number of years now, but it's important to know gut feeling what you enjoy doing and what, because that is what will work well for you. So have a go, do some reels, let us know. Tag Breakout Long Melford in it, because we love to see them. And we'll give them a like and a share. You'll notice if you follow us, I'll always share to stories if I've seen some there's been some really good reels lately, and original reels as well, which are absolutely hilarious. So it helps with ideas as well. So always check back and look at our stories, because we'll share ideas and bits and pieces for specific industries and specific businesses. So sometimes we'll DM people and go, oh, you should do this. This is really, really good. So if you know someone that's struggling with reels or interested, have a look in our show notes because we've got a workshop coming up, but also like and subscribe because it massively helps our podcast, and also share with someone that you thinks needs some help with some reels. All right, thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share with a friend who you think needs a bit of help with starting a business or even their small business, which they've already got going. Please like and subscribe to our podcast, which always helps a small business or small podcast like us. And check the show notes. We all have everything in there relating to the episode which you might need, might want to read, and links to anyone we've interviewed and certain subjects we've spoken about. And thanks for listening.